it is, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Secret Sovereign Citizen stream. Nobody knew about this. Okay, fine. Look, I put out a community post not too long ago, like real recently, saying this is happening. Maybe, who knows? I didn't put a time though, so it's happening now. Even my moderator doesn't know I was planning on doing this because I wasn't planning on doing this. It's just been a weird day, and I was like, I need to just bring it all back down with you guys. You guys, just, you ground me. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? And I figured, I'm just making sure my microphone's on. I figured today's a good day to cover sovereign citizens. I was thinking about doing it tomorrow, because tomorrow's Friday. But I think tomorrow I might be going over some Jeremy DeWitt stuff. It's mostly just court paperwork, kind of boring. I haven't even looked it over, really. I haven't. I've skimmed it. I haven't really gone through it, but I think there's enough that probably makes sense to stream and talk about. But, I've been, sovereign citizens, you know how they be. I can't get enough of it. So here we are. I'm just like all manic right now. It's fine. I got my judge wig. I got my gavel. Got my apple juice. We didn't drink apple juice last week because kidney stones. Which is why I still have my thing, which should have water in it, but it doesn't because I was thirsty earlier and then I didn't refill it. I'm a crazy person. It's fine. But yeah, so it's just, we're going to do what we're going to do. Who knows what's going to happen? I don't. I have no plans. I went on Reddit under the r/sovereign citizen. I just put up a bunch of videos. A lot of stuff from Australia. I don't really know that much about Australian law. So we're going to just crawl our way through it. It'll be fine. Maybe I'll even attempt a terrible, terrible Australian accent. Probably not. Maybe. Good eye, mate. There it is. All right. We got that out of the way. Disclaimers, ladies and gentlemen. Although this is not a normal stream, I might just treat it like it is, sort of, kind of, maybe. First 10 minutes of the streams, as per usual, are just a bunch of nonsense. It's me just saying hi to everybody. Just, if you don't want to deal with that, skip forward 10 minutes to the part where I just keep doing it. It's just going to be nonsense the entire time. But at the 10-minute mark, we actually start getting into things. There will be a lot of stopping. A lot of stopping. If you want to watch these videos uninterrupted, you can go to the Sovereign Citizen subreddit yourself and watch them. We're here to have a good time, not to watch these unfiltered, unadjusted. Words are hard. I don't know. There's a lot of things that my brain's not doing right now. It's been a day. So, excuse me. Like I said. Anyway, yeah, I just had a comment the other day where someone's like, oh, this Jeremy DeWitt stream from 2021. Oh, I made it 2 minutes in, or 3 minutes in, and like, you didn't say anything. And literally at the 2-minute mark, I was like, this stream is designed to be viewed live, not after the fact. Sorry if that upsets you. And she's like, did you miss that part? So I typed 200 as a timestamp and send it back. Haven't heard from them. Maybe they learned the error of their ways. Folks, if you were just like, man, he keeps interrupting, he keeps talking too much, just skip forward. It's that easy. Also, if I talk too fast, which I sometimes do, yeah, that's probably not going to change. It's who I am as a person. There are options to slow down the talking speed. I know it's not a great solution, but it is a solution. All right. If you're feeling very generous, that's great. I love it. Donations help keep this going. All of this. I almost bought some fun new camera equipment today. There's an auction. I lost. Hey, it was too pricey. It got out of my price range. It's fine. But that's what the donations would have been used for. $380 was a little much for a thing that I don't technically need, but wanted. It was a camera slider. You know, you can automate your camera, doing panning things. Really fun. I don't need it. I'd find a use for it. I don't need it. $380. No, it was a $1,000 item though, which is why I was excited about it. That's a whole story. First 10 minutes, folks. Sorry about it. Yeah, but if you're feeling generous, if you can't afford to donate, please don't. Please. I do not want your money. If it's going to put a hardship, I will accept your money graciously. If it's not, I will not demand your money. That's up to you. I put this out there because when I don't, people complain and they go, accepting donations. Yes. I don't think those people understand how much time I put into this and how much computer monitor cost and how much computer cost and how much camera cost. Camera's more expensive than monitor by a long shot. Fun fact. by a factor of many. Don't know the number. Regardless, if you're feeling very generous, we saw the $10 donation was. We'll get to that. Thank you, Cameo. Good to have you here. That does that. That's just a little joke. $20 gets you a coin flip. Yes, today, since we didn't do it last week, I'll suffer. You get a coin flip. If it is heads, I may or may not consume one of those apple juices. I'm allergic to apple juice. It makes it very difficult for me to concentrate, more so than usual. If it is tails, you get nothing. Good day, sir. Maybe a little sass. Yeah, I could sass you guys. That's not a problem. 37 is a Jeremy DeWitt themed thing. I don't really expect anyone to do it. And $50 tells you that you were bad at investing your money. Again, it doesn't really do much, but it's there just because it is. The popular one is the 20. You do not have to do it. I do monitor my chat, so like, there's a chance I'll see your message, even if there's no money attached to it. Don't worry. It's not like I'm not going to read that. It's just that when there's money associated with it, it stores it for me, if that makes sense. And I put that out there, not because I'm like, haha, give it to me. It's because people comment on it. And it's easier to put this out in the first 10 minutes, of which it's not. First 10 minutes is nothing. It's just us saying hi to each other so that people have a chance to come in and sit down. This is the secret stream. It's unannounced. So, people need that time. How's it going? How's it going, Juggernaut? Excuse me. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible apple juice. Woo! Also, Cameo Stark. Hi, thank you so much. Cameo says, got back from a long day at university and intend to pass out soundly to the stream. And the constant loop of the me theme, like the strange neurodivergent goblin I am. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. That's what we're going to be watching. That's the first one right there. Oh, it's Australia. Shrimp on the barbie. So offensive, I'm sure. Where are we at? 3 minutes. We got 3 minutes left, folks, before this happens. I'm excited. Oh, I've been wanting to get back into Sovereign Citizens for so long. Rodent, that is true. I could do that. But I won't. Also, hey, if you're not subscribed, what are you doing with your life? You don't have to. It would just be nice, if you want, if you like this. Georgia Transparency Sovereign Citizen Act. I'll have to check that out because I don't know anything about it. Jason, ooh, right back at you. Juggernaut, a Four Loko. That's $100 because I hate Four Loko, and I set that at $100 because I assumed no one would actually donate that. Here's the deal: if that happens tonight, I can't promise I'll be able to drink it tonight because that's a Twitch thing. I don't drink Four Locos generally on YouTube. Just apple juice and mystery balls that people send me. But yeah, it's $100 because I don't want to. I don't like it. I hate it so much. However, some people, Mav, who I don't believe is here yet, likes to watch me suffer. Woodwork Learner, it's too late. I've just read it. I'm so sorry. Let's see. Excuse me. Cindy Sue, thank you so much, says, hey, you mook, sass dis. Good to see you back. Hey, it's good to be back. I love being back. Yeah, I haven't really been active on my channel this month. It's been busy last month, and then this month's been busy. I have big plans. I always have big plans. And then do I just sit on them like a very large egg? Yes. Yes, I do. A chicken joke in there somewhere. Hit the like button. That's right. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh God, I forgot. That was from. I was talking to. I don't know if they might have been a Sovereign Citizen. They were a lot of things. Like a science denier, and that was one of my early streams where I was doing a debate with them, and they basically proved themselves wrong and wouldn't acknowledge it, and it was just, I threw my keyboard. Good times. I mean, I have mugs I could smash if we really get into it, but those mugs cost money, and I'm greedy. You've heard people say it. It's fine, Juggernaut. It's fine. Oh, Mile High Geeks. It sure would be a shame. It'd also be a shame if the judge approved the motion I filed this week. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. But that's its own conversation. We are at 10 minutes, folks. Woo! Let's get into it. Let's watch. It's Australia. I don't know much about Australian law, but I know a lot about sovereign citizens. Now, technically, this would not be a sovereign citizen. It would be a freeman on the land, because presumably freeman on the land, or free men on the land. Although this is it a woman? I don't know. Yeah, I believe it's a woman. Maybe, probably. A free woman on the land. Free men on the land generally use the Magna Carta as the basis of their arguments. Sovereign citizens use the Constitution. Sometimes the freemen on the land actually do use the Constitution, which doesn't make any sense because they are not under a government based upon the American Constitution. Doesn't make sense at all. You'll love to hear it. Maybe we'll see it here. Let's find out. Oh, hi, Mark. Let's do this. Also, let me know if the audio needs fixing. Oh, what a monster. All right, right into it. Just, huh? That was the end. That was the beginning. That was just...
On this land. Oh, look out.
You're under arrest.
You absolutely...
Window down for me, please.
That's...
there's more. I don't know what's happening. That's fine. Maybe if we keep watching, stop interrupting, we'll find out.
I'll let you know I'm recording everything that's happening. Your driver's license for me, thank you.
Yeah, I'm recording everything
That's
as well.
fine.
Checking to make sure our car door's locked.
Window down for me, thank you.
That's as far
What's your
as
name?
it's going down. What?
Okay, I don't know about Australia, but in America, that's basically all you have to roll it down. You only have to roll it down enough in America to communicate with the officer and to hand any paperwork through. Australia may be different. In America, though, I like putting this information out because people are always like, really? Yeah, the officer can ask you to roll it down more. And you can say, respectfully, no. And the officer can go, okay, step out of the car then. And in America, you can't say no to that if it's a lawful detention, which a traffic stop would be. So it's not like it's something you're necessarily going to win, but you technically don't have to roll the window down more. I'm just saying.
Your name?
My name's Senior Constable Borgas from Highway Patrol. Favour, give me your details. You are committing offences. Your driver's license for me, thank you.
I'm not in your jurisdiction.
Sorry?
I'm not in your jurisdiction.
Yes, you are.
All right, the old jurisdiction argument. You see this with American sovereign citizens as well. Hold on, let me adjust my leg. I was sitting on my ankle because it's cold in here, and sometimes I warm my feet up like that. So, in America, I assume Australia is the same way. If you are in the territorial jurisdiction, you are within their jurisdiction. Whether or not you believe they have jurisdiction over you, it doesn't work that way. If this is the area that police have jurisdiction in, and you are in that area, they have jurisdiction over you. Now, this applies not only to American citizens, but also to anyone in America. If you are you're traveling there, with your right to travel, you're from a different country, you're not a citizen, the police still have jurisdiction over you. If I went to Greece, it was like, haha, let me rob this bank real quick. I'm not a Greek citizen. Hey, guess what? They can still arrest me and put me through the whole process. And I am assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, Australians, you weird upside-down people, that it is the same way there.
I know your driver's license. Favour, give me your driver's license.
Can you explain how we're in the jurisdiction, sir?
Sorry?
Can you explain how we're in your jurisdiction?
You're driving a vehicle.
We're not driving, we're traveling. We are traveling.
But does Australia have a right to travel? Or is this based off the American argument?
Traveling, sir.
Get out of the vehicle.
Do not
yeah,
try
she's
to
making
commit
sure that
an
door's
offence,
locked.
mate.
Ooh, let me get the mouse out of there. Now keep going. There we go. Friday, you lie.
Senior,
Friday. You're in Australia, right? Is there a right to travel in Australia? Do you know? Not necessarily a right to drive. That's a whole. But does the Australian Constitution or equivalent have a right to travel? I'll keep an eye out. Hopefully I'll see it.
Can you bring
Stephen, you call that a window smash? Well, this is a window smash, mate. I see you played car window versus car window before. Lifey spoony.
authority here.
You don't have any authority. What is the crime that's been committed?
Authority.
What?
Haram.
We are not driving, we are traveling.
I'm traveling.
Listen, mate, you can be both. You can be traveling, right? But if you are operating a motor vehicle upon a public roadway, then you're driving it, and that requires a license. But your passenger doesn't need a license to travel. If you don't want a license to be in a vehicle, take a bus, mate. I'm losing the accent. I'm going north. I'm back in England now. I'm in Liverpool, you know. It's fine. Hey, Mark, the sarcastic law student. Hey, good to have you here as always. Thank you so much. Says just to say hi from the wife and I. She's asleep right now. You want me to wake her up? I'll yell. Everyone, cover your ears real quick. I'm not gonna do it. It'd be ridiculous. It's tempting though. So I guess I ought to represent properly and hate everyone else too. Good to have you here. Yeah. Moose Cat asks, if they don't have authority, then why do they pull over and stop? Oh, it's funny when you see the sovereign citizens. They're like, what's the emergency, mate? And we're still doing the Australian accent. It's fine. And they're like, well, you pulled over, didn't you? And they go, not anymore, nerd. And then they get like ripped from the vehicle. And she's like, ooh, yeah, that was preventable. You weren't so stupid. It's fine.
You guys don't even know what yous are on about.
I need your most senior on duty.
Well, bring your...
Now, in America, they generally don't have to provide that to you. You can ask for it. And there's some departments that have a policy like, look, if there's one available, we'll bring one over. However, it's not actually something that is a law. Some people like to think that it's a law. No, not in America. In Australia, I kind of feel like it's probably the same way.
Most senior sergeant down, sir.
If you do not provide details, you will be arrested.
We don't have to give you any details.
Not in your
I
jurisdiction.
will break the window. If you
There is, and you will commit offence, you'll be liable for it.
No, it's not trespass.
It is absolutely trespass. You got no jurisdiction here, bros.
Lots of jurisdiction.
You got no jurisdiction here.
I have lots of jurisdiction.
Who do you derive your authority from?
Is that
Who have
going
you
to
sworn
work,
an oath
though?
to? There
Where's your authority from? It's probably from, well, here's my W-2. I don't know what you guys have in Australia. I don't know, it's fine. So funny, I can't stop watching this vid. All right. Gin Enema says that. Thank you, Gin Enema. That sounds horrific, and also a better way to drink gin. Because gin, actually, that's, okay, listen, I have a phenomenal gin. I'm not really a gin guy. I have a really good one. Oak Barrel Aged Gin. Oh my God, Copperworks Distillery in Seattle. So good. It's the only gin I like, really like. In a mixed drink, sure. On its own, it's risky. Anyway.
is no queen of this country. Don't you dare think that you have authority here.
Even under your... let's go straight to the courthouse.
Lady, you're going straight to jail and then the courthouse.
Don't you dare think that you guys have authority here. Bring your most highest ranked senior sergeant down here, because you are going to be liable.
I'll do it right here.
You are going to be held liable, brother.
I'll be very liable, alright?
He said brother, not mate. That's how you know he's wrong. Also, thank you, Triggered Limey, for becoming a member. Hey, welcome to the party. Four Pillar Shiraz Gin. Okay, I've never had that one, to be fair. It is a king now. That is true. I don't know when this was filmed. Probably when there was a king, not a queen. You guys a New Zealander? Oh. There's your problem right there. I hear New Zealanders are nicer, though.
You don't even know what you...
I do have 2 cameras recording.
That's perfectly fine. We've got the cameras recording as well. Because if you touch this car, you're committing an offence.
Now he's not.
You're committing offence by standing here.
Mate,
Yes, you
what?
are. You don't have any jurisdiction on this land. Oh, look out!
You're under arrest.
You absolutely. You're,
I sustained that.
man, I would love to
Sustained.
just get you one-on-one. Drive you.
You're under arrest.
Don't
Get out of the vehicle, you're under arrest.
Yeah, I'll sentence you to being a bloody idiot. Get out of here. We're going to ship you to America now. That's our prison colony. We put the dumb people.
Get out of the vehicle, you're under arrest. Come on.
Don't touch me.
I'm not going to touch you, just take seat for me, yeah?
You've got no jurisdiction.
You're alright.
Yeah, of course I'm allowed to call.
Yeah.
Put him in handcuffs. Just...
What's your name, buddy?
I don't have to give you any name.
I know that you just ripped my window out with your bare hands, but I'm not doing anything you want me to. That's the smart idea. No, keep doing that. Oops.
What's your name?
I'm Sean McCarthy, West Harbour Police.
Oh. All right, folks, what are your questions? That was incredible. Wow. Good job, Australia. You'll love to see it. We just... Hi. Dark Canuck. Hey, that's what you get for ignoring the recall when you call Windows, mate. They're just helping out. It happened in a town called Coffs Harbour, which is 550 kilometers north of Sydney. I'll take your word for it. Anthony, is there anything weird? Tell me your thoughts. Australians, tell me your thoughts. And that's all they had on the clip. If there's more where he's like, I'm going to fight you. I don't know what that accent was. Then fair. Mark, you managed to gift yourself a membership. That's amazing. I love it. So good. Jason Pye says your British or Australian accent seems a little off and kind of hilarious. That it's almost like a 1920s American gangster went to Australia and lived there for 3 years. Right, we're gonna get some Fosters, mate. Make it in a bathtub. Yeah, see? Yeah. I got my Timmy gun. That's what we call Tommy guns, because we have a nickname for everything. Making Fosters in a bathtub. That's a solid joke. I stand by that. 1920s gangster from America and Australia. I like it. I'm proud of it. Yes. I'm taking a sip. That was worth a sip. I earned that. All right. Woo! That's spicy apple juice. All right, our next thing. It's not a video. It's this. Private property trespass notice. Sorry, squeaky chair. It squeaks a lot. You like that? Yeah. Private property trespass notice. Trespass applies without prior consent. All right, that's not how you spell consent, but that's fine. Or prior invitation. That's usually how trespass works. Sure. Administer this property is strictly by invitation or appointment only, or trespass applies. Okay, yeah, that's how the posted sign generally works. Sure, in America, sure. And not America, but I know American things sometimes. Administer the property is consent to this notice. That doesn't make sense. If I've admitted you to this property, you consent to this notice that you are trespassing if you haven't been admitted to it. Doesn't. Okay. I mean, it's not like it's. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Penalties for trespass start at 330 ounces of silver. Okay, so that's not how that works. So trespass is going to be through either criminal court or maybe civil court if you could establish damages. Again, in America, not sure about Australia. And the fines and penalties are going to be already established in some way, and it's not going to be in silver, again, in America. Because in America, all debts, both public and private, can be paid in any valid currency. You cannot specifically say you can only pay me in gold, for example. The currency is valid unless there is some sort of contractual something or other that is written in a certain way. You cannot do this. I don't believe you can have an implied contract like this that does this in America. And that was 1930s, I think, when we... sovereign citizens like to cite this thing with FDR when they went off the gold standard. It's a whole thing. And basically all it was FDR's like, look, there are all these debts that people are being required to pay in gold. And the gold isn't being publicly circulated in an amount where that is possible. People are hoarding gold. They made it illegal to hoard gold. There's a whole thing trying to keep the economy from absolutely just destroying itself. Here's the part that excited me. The Hague and Nuremberg Code. Let me just zoom in right there, because I know a thing or two about the Hague and Nuremberg Code. I've read them. International Convention concerning the laws and customs of war on land. That doesn't apply. That only applies in a time of war or international conflict. If you're merely trespassing on someone's property, it doesn't apply. Let's see. Entry into force for Australia generally, 26 January 1910. Article 46, family, honor, and rights, individual life and private property, as well as religious convictions and worship, must be respected. Private property may not be confiscated. Yeah, so that's in a time of war by enemy combatants or your own combatants. In a time of war, soldiers cannot confiscate land, if this is a correct quote. I'm just saying the Hague Convention, the Fourth Hague Convention, Article 4, Fourth Convention, either way. That's only during a time of war or international conflict. So it doesn't apply. I've said it many times. I'm so sorry. Nuremberg Code 1947. The voluntary consent of the human subject is absolutely essential. This means that if a person involved, that the person involved should have legal capacity to give consent, should be so situated as to be able to exercise the power of choice without the intention of any element of force, fraud, deceit, duress, overreaching, or other ulterior form of constraint, coercion, and should have sufficient knowledge and comprehension of the elements of the subject matter involved as to enable him to make an understanding and enlightened decision. I'm pretty sure this is about prisoners of war, which wouldn't apply in a trespass. The latter element requires for decisions. Experiment. Oh, no. This isn't prisoner of war. This is people undergoing experimentation. This part of the Nuremberg Code is about getting appropriate consent before conducting experiments on humans. Because in World War II, there was a lot of that didn't happen in Japan and Germany, and probably a lot of other places. But those are two very, very big ones. So that doesn't apply here, because that's not what this is about. And then you have Ephesians. You have Bible text, which is not a source of law. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of the world. Bop, bop, boop, boop, bop. It doesn't matter, because it's not relevant. I mean, you can put that on a sign all you want. It's not going to change whether or not a trespass can result in a fine of 330 ounces of silver. How much does an ounce of silver go for right now? Let's find out. Value of ounce of silver. An ounce of silver is worth 23.84 American dollar days. So, what was it? 5, how much was it? 330 times 23.84. 23.84 times 330. So they want $7,867.20 per trespass. Starting at that. That's probably not going to happen. Now, let's take that, American dollar days, US dollars to Australian dollar days, and that is 11,068 Australian dollars and 36 Australian cents. That's a lot. That's a whole, oh boy, not happening. All right, Australia, get your economy together. Oh, do you see how much the euro is going for these days? It's almost the same as the American dollar. It's kind of nuts. Anyway, oh, issues of public health are exempt from the Nuremberg Code, and it's actually an article in the code. Well, yeah. I had to reread the Nuremberg Code, apparently. Anyway. So last summer says, speaking of insomnia, I'm about to take my Ambien. So if I start making lots of typos, y'all other insomniacs, tell me to go to sleep, because I can't tell it's happening. Perhaps I should do the next sovereign citizen video like this. Just, yes, this man's getting his windows smashed out because he's an idiot. Dream time. Imagine the nightmares that would cause. Yeah, I had the strangest dream. Blue was ripping my windows out of my car. I don't know what to tell you. Other than I'd make a great 1920s gangster from America living in Australia for 3 years, making Foster in a bathtub. I still stand by that. Let's move on to our next video. It said poor Mav. Is Mav here? Oh God. I'm checking. Tons of other things that says, hey, Blue Bacon, I thought Nixon took us off the gold standard. Yeah, Nixon took us off the gold standard fully. FDR began the process. Like he was the first one to sort of remove us somewhat, I believe. He did implement laws, or under his, presidency, laws were implemented, which I believe he was very much pushing for, which prohibited contracts from being paid only in gold and prohibited people from hoarding gold, because that was one of the reasons banks were shutting down, because people were hoarding gold, because the banks were running out of it, because people were hoarding it, and then people got scared and kept hoarding it. It was a big problem. So it became illegal so that you get it back in circulation. And that is when the United States sort of started to go off the gold standard. It was not fully finalized until the 70s. If I remember correctly, I may be remembering wrong. I'm really glad you put that there, because it's a very good point. Also, Becca Welsh News Network, good to have you here. Anyway. Oh, Kelly, no, you're just in time for the next nonsense. It's another Australian. Ooh, unless it's the exact same one.
So
I don't know.
Can I please get your name?
Have
you got your video?
No, have Acting Sergeant Gibson or from Gold Coast Highway Patrol.
Okay. Now have
Just
I?
stop talking for a second.
Gosh, so no nonsense, Australia. I love it. So good.
Listen to what I'm asking you. What's your full name?
I do not consent.
You're going to be arrested shortly for failing to provide your details.
Good, so good. That's yes, Australia. Yes, just yes.
You are.
What law?
Hold on, I have a thing for this. I'll find it.
Listen
Let's
to me.
keep doing this.
No, you listen to me, please.
I'm speaking to you.
Okay.
I've asked you to state your full and correct
Here it
name.
is. God, I love this so much. All right, moving on.
Can I
I
please?
don't need to explain about your driver's license at the moment.
Can I have a say?
No, I've asked you to explain.
Now.
Why can I
I've
not
asked you.
talk?
Listen. I've asked you to state your full
I
and correct
think you're
name.
being very
If you fail to
aggressive.
provide those details,
You're
I
being
will have
very
you arrested. Do
aggressive.
you understand?
Why?
What is your full name?
What crime have I committed? What
State
crime?
your full name. You are unlicensed at the moment.
At the moment, ma'am, you're
Excuse me.
obstructing
And you're
police.
obstructing
Excuse me.
All right.
Excuse me.
Ma'am, you're under arrest. Hop out of the
Turn the
car,
car
please.
off. Turn the car off now. Don't put that on me. I'll bust your window. Put the window down.
So this is
Put your
violence.
window down,
Is this
ma'am.
violence?
Put your window.
Complain to the judge, lady. Oh, that's me. The judge says wrong. All right.
Is this violence?
You are under arrest.
Under what law?
You're unlicensed. Put the
Do you
window
know
down
this
now.
doesn't? Look, I don't want to be. I don't want. You're starting to threaten me.
Then you should
Put the window
probably
down.
give him
You
your
are under
name.
arrest.
You're threatening me.
You are under arrest. Open the window now.
I can't believe that the police are going to put me under
the window
arrest
down now.
for a breathalyzer. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
How dare they do their job?
Look at this. Violence. Violence by the police. I've done nothing wrong. I have done nothing wrong.
Oh, Juggernaut, you know it.
Let's discuss this nicely. I will come out if you calm down.
Also, Pedro.
Open the door now.
Fascinating. I didn't know that.
Open the door if you calm down. If you calm down, I'll open.
Can you grab that?
Can you
All right,
feel
hold on.
me?
I do
Look,
want to watch them finagle that door open. Because stop it, you. Stop it.
The door
No.
now.
I will open the door if you calm down. If you
I bet
calm
you won't.
down, I'll open.
Oh, well, I guess we won't
Can
get
you
to see
feel
it.
me? Look,
Seatbelt off. Under arrest. Undo the seatbelt. Hop out of the car.
believe this.
Put the handbrake on. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Put your car in park. Ah! Oh, brilliant. So good. God, it's just so no nonsense. I'm not saying like that's the perfect way to do it, but it is very satisfying because yesterday I was watching a stream by Artie's Corporate Fiction, and it was just they were just having a conversation forever. It's just like, look, at a certain point, like, yeah, it's fun to have that conversation, but at a certain point, just arrest the guy. Just do the paperwork. You know? Yeah, they don't get too many sovereign citizens on military bases. It was always a bit shame. It's funny. Australia, it's a kangaroo court. It's like, yeah, mate, it's Australia. A lot of kangaroos here. Can't get them out. We just gotta live with it. Just avoid them. Watch out for the koalas. Drop bears. It's swooping season. Oh, for a helmet. Why should be pulled over by construction workers? Because police in Australia like to not be hit while on the side of the road. Shocking, I know. Like, okay, cowards. Ooh, you should be able to take on a car, right? It's like when that person's like, were you fired because you had a gate runner at JBLM? It's like, no, because I did my job exactly correctly. Oh, you didn't jump in the way of the vehicle? No, because then I'd be dead, and who would stop them? Because my body wouldn't. You know what did? The barriers that we slap the button on. They pop up, trap the vehicle, and then we get to engage from the rear. Ladies, gentlemen, buy me dinner, see what happens. That's a joke. Do not do that. Either of you. God, people are gross. Yeah, no, there's an entire procedure, and because it's multi-lanes of traffic, you don't like shoot across multi-lanes. This isn't like a nuclear secret kind of a military base. You hit the barriers and they're trapped. It's beautiful. It's so wonderful. Anyway. Oh, sovereign citizens executed 3 people last month, says the original vintage. Oh! Yeah, that'll do it. The wig's very itchy. But yeah. All right, what do we got next? Another Australian. So many Australians right now. Let's take a look.
I'm recording everything that's happening.
Is this one we've already seen?
Yeah, I'm recording everything
That's
as well,
fine. You
just so
can
you
record
are.
us.
Is this,
Yeah, of course
is this
I'm
the same
touching
one?
I'm not gonna touch you. Just
Old fucking prick. Fiction on this
Okay,
on this
language.
land.
So, yeah, okay, this is the same one. Is it? Does he threaten to fight in this one?
Fucking wankers.
Oh, sir, you're gonna get demonetized.
You got no jurisdiction. Yeah, of course I'm allowed to talk.
Pat.
what's your name, buddy?
I don't have to give
Oh,
you a
spicy
name.
Robert.
I need to be alive.
What's your
Yeah,
name?
be like flying.
Blvd Police.
Oh, well, all right. Nothing new. What's next? I think this one's. Oh, is this Team Skeptic? Popped up on Reddit. Hold on.
So when
Are
the
you just gonna
United States goes back,
review a Team Skeptic video? I think this is a Team Skeptic video. Well, we're watching it. It's gonna happen.
bankrupt, which they do, I think it's every 70 years. That's
Yeah, the U.S. does not go bankrupt every 7 years. I don't think the U.S. has gone bankrupt once. It was close once. I don't believe they've ever actually gone bankrupt. It's a common thing by like the more extreme sovereign citizens to say. Oh, that's a whole thing.
14th Amendment citizens only are the ones that have to register.
Close the door. Get back in the car, sir.
We're not 14th
Close the
Amendment.
door. Get back in the car.
Yep, police can order you back in the car.
I don't feel he's my son.
that's my father.
And you're both stupid. Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today, we have a sovereign citizen father-son duo who gets shut down by a cop who's not as convinced as they are
Team, if you copyright claim me on this, I'm gonna be upset.
that they have the right to break the law. Now this one has an ending you don't want to miss, so let's begin.
Triple car stick show. Got your license?
Yeah, what went wrong?
Your tag back here when you went by me, no stake popped up on it.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Just
so-
give him all of your stuff.
This is my identification. I want you to look this over. This is an affidavit of truth and facts. That's is no.
Yeah, so sir, that doesn't matter. That's not how that works.
And assigned
Let me
under
just
penalty of
skip.
perjury. Before you do any writing of citations or anything, I need you to look over this truth of facts. And
Yeah, they don't need to though. You can want them to. They don't need to.
And if you do write me a ticket or a citation, I want to let you know that there is a fee schedule to every right that you violate.
Yes, the fees
Yeah, you can't charge the police money for charging you for the crimes that you're committing. You know, not how that works.
schedule. If you want to tell us you're a sovereign citizen without telling us you're a sovereign citizen, then tell us about your fee schedule.
I'm a private citizen. This vehicle is placed in a trust,
Oops, sorry.
and the
That doesn't make sense. Doesn't like even if the vehicle's in a trust, you're still the driver. And it being you being a private citizen, it being a private vehicle does not change the fact that you're driving it on a public road.
UCC and common law both acknowledge.
UCC is not relevant to this. UCC is federal code for commerce. This is not commerce. And the statutes you're violating are state laws, which are not superseded by federal laws because there are no federal laws that govern state licensure for your standard driving on a road. So it doesn't work that way.
Trust law is above the UCC Admiral Maritime statutory jurisdiction.
Admiralty law does not apply because you are not on water. That is not a boat, and it doesn't work that way.
Which you guys are under. So I want you to
They're not. It's fun. Isn't this crazy how easy this is? Oh, it's so nuts.
look over this information.
Do you have anything for the registration?
It's all inside.
So that's a no. So that's another crime. Well, infraction that you're committing. Congratulations, sir.
It's all inside that.
You look that over. You need to talk to your dispatch and let them know, because I don't want this going anywhere where it shouldn't.
Let me tell you what I do. I would skim it and go, yep, okay, sovereign citizen. Hey, get me another patrol. Give me 2 more people because we're about to go hands-on.
You need all that information. The registration, everything's in there.
You better get your canoe tip, buddy.
Yeah, you actually do need to read that, sir.
He is not required to do so. So no, he doesn't.
Boy.
How's it going?
All right, I understand you said it's through a trust, but is it going to come back through any of the 50 states if I was to run the registration of the vehicle?
No, it's not. It's not registered. It's not registered.
Tones, I don't actually know the origin of the fee schedule thing. That would probably, if we could backtrack to what that would be. I'd guess 90s. Because there was a resurgence where like a lot of the weird stuff happened. So here's how it works. Sovereign citizens are like, 14th Amendment says that we can't be slaves. But, having to pay taxes basically makes us slaves to the government, and making us do these things makes us slaves to the government. And also, we have the right to travel. So you can't have us, have all these things that require us to be dependent on the government, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it was almost reasonable, like comparatively. It was like, oh, okay, I can see why this would make sense. And then, that started going to court. They kept losing. It was sort of proven like, no, that's not how it works. But they didn't want the movement to die. People were making money off this, or they truly believed it. And so they decided we have to find a reason why this is not acceptable. This doesn't count. So, what's that? The Supreme Court ruled against me. Well, the Supreme Court doesn't count. Why doesn't it count? Because there's a second secret constitution, right? Now that's an extreme jump. There were smaller jumps, but like that's one of the jumps that happened to like, there's a second secret constitution. Now I believe the fee schedule probably came from the argument from Black's Law Dictionary, which is not a valid argument because Black's Law Dictionary is not a source of law, and they use the second edition, which is out of date, and they don't understand that employee has more than one meaning. They think that because Black's Law Dictionary uses the word employ, which can mean to pay something, or to make use of something in a non-commercial fashion, turns out, they think that commerce is involved. They also use 18 USC 31, which governs laws. It defines a motor vehicle as a commercial vehicle, but it only defines a commercial vehicle, or it only defines a vehicle as a commercial vehicle in regards to 18 USC. Only in that chapter now. 18 USC only governs commercial vehicles. Private vehicles are governed under state law, generally. For example, the requirement to have a state driver's license. That is state law that is confirmed by the Supreme Court. Again, one of the reasons why you have to establish why the Supreme Court doesn't count Admiralty law and whatever also applies there. So once you get into it's a commercial thing. And again, this comes down to, the federal law does not supersede state law because there is no federal law that is the same as that state law. So they don't butt heads in any way. Under 18 USC 31 under those definitions when compared to state licensing laws. I hope we're keeping up. There will be a test. Are you ready for it? I'm not. So I've dealt with this a lot. I assume at some point during that whole it's commerce thing, they came up with a fee schedule from some other law. I don't know specifically where, but that would be a fun thing to look up. We should check that sometime. Don't let me forget that. Moving on.
With the state, it's completely 100% private.
It's good though, right?
Yeah.
Oh! Who said it? Anthony. You know it. You know what this is. Yes, the Organic Act of 1871. Yes. So, okay, that's one of the things like, it's a secret second constitution because the Organic Act of 1871 has the United States Constitution in full capital letters, which, to my knowledge, it absolutely doesn't. But they argue this, even though you can find copies of it online. And the dictated version, I don't think I've seen like an original like photo of it, but what has been transcribed does not have the United States of America in all capital letters. But they use the argument, capita diminutio, which is a Roman term which has nothing to do with capital letters. It has to do with your status in society. But they say capital letters change the meaning of a word. For example, March, when it's lowercase, can mean to walk in formation, whereas March uppercase is a month. So capital letters change the meaning of a word. If you capitalize the United States Constitution, that changed the meaning to mean a second constitution. Okay, if you actually read the thing, you find out that's not the case. Sort of like Moors and the Treaty of Friendship or whatever it was. If you actually read it, you understand they're completely wrong, but they don't read it for whatever reason. The 1871, the Organic Act of 1871, all it did was establish Washington, D.C., basically. So Washington, D.C., what we know as Washington, D.C., I think it was 3 different locations. It was 3 different bits of land. And for whatever reason, there are a lot of reasons. I think there was a bit of like overpopulation or something. Washington, D.C. needed to combine those jurisdictions, those government jurisdictions, into a single jurisdiction. Like we have like too many mayors, too many cooks in the kitchen. It needs to be under one because it's just not working. So they have the Organic Act of 1871. It referenced the Constitution because the Constitution allows a certain amount of land for the use for a capital for the country. And that's basically all it is. It's like, look, we want this to be the capital. Does that make sense? God, I don't even know if what I said made any sense at all. Welsh, thank you so much. Says, damn it, you're going against my natural law. I apologize, but not really. I'll drink to that, though. Look, I poured it. I got to drink it. Now, whether or not that's on camera or off, I don't know. Reading is hard. I love reading this stuff. So I know I said that very, very fast. I will slow it down if anyone has questions. There's so much. There's so much. Let's keep going.
No state registration at all.
So it's going to be strictly under the trust.
That's right.
We're travelers.
So
Well, you and your dad can travel your asses back to
Yeah,
whatever
you tell him.
barn your one-dimensional family tree grows in. Because if you want to take your private conveyance out into the public roadway, you're going to need a valid registration as required by state law.
So, yeah, I understand that. Hang tight, okay?
Alrighty.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
Grab that right there and step back here with me so we can figure this thing out.
All right, well, he don't have to step out of the car. You take whatever you need, but he's not getting...
He actually does, because Pennsylvania versus Mims, another Supreme Court case, says that he does in fact have to do that. So, bye.
out of the car.
You can read this information. No,
I don't feel... He's my...
Mark, there. I'm thinking about going to law school just to flex on people, and I feel like that's not a good enough reason, so I haven't gone through any work into looking into that. What I think I might do, actually, is get certificated as a paralegal, just because it's nice to know how the documents work. You think certificated, do you mean certified? No. Washington State does not have it doesn't require you to be certified to be a paralegal. There is a certification process that tells people that you are, oh, no, Mav. Oh, no, Mav is here. That's fine. That's a coin flip. There's a certification that you can get. So someone who has the certification is considered certificated, not certified, because that's not a thing in Washington. It's weird, I know, but I've been thinking about it.
So many questions.
I'm in class right now for a different thing, so I'm just... cybersecurity. Ooh, it sounds exciting. That's a heads, Mav. Thank you! Let's get out of here. Run. All right. Gotta hype myself up. Oh, it's fine. I try to sneak one past. What? Who am I sneaking past? Fee schedule came from the original sovereign citizens back in the 1980s when farmers used to charge for their time back to the government. Oh. That actually might be right, Anthony. Because that would have been part of the farmers' protest movement, I believe. That that feels accurate. I don't know if it is accurate, but that feels like it could be. Not to like discredit you or be like, you're wrong, because I actually don't know. But that feels like it's right. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, no, Tones, so the sovereign citizen movement is sort of an evolution from the farmer protest movement, which had been going on from, I think, the 40s, basically. And sort of, and then William Potter Gale, he's a radio guy for the Church of Jesus Christ Christian. Real bad church, real bad guy. He started broadcasting, I want to say over AM radio, and it reached a lot of farmers who were already sort of like, farming, the government's not, making this sustainable. They're making this really, really difficult. We can't live under the government's rules. And then you have William P. Gale going, we don't belong to the government. Oh, you can still find the radio, like the audio clips from it. And it's just like, oh, God, this guy. So the farmer thing checks out for the 80s. And I wouldn't be shocked to hear about them saying, oh, you're going to make us pay money for dumb things? Cool, right back at you. So, yeah. You like how I know it's a math? No!
I didn't get notified of the stream, and apparently neither did Judy. I'm hurt, Blue. I thought we shared something. Now I don't feel bad for this.
You never feel bad about it. Never, never. All right, that's coin flip, and that's next time I'm on Twitch. That's a Four Loco. Oh no. All right. As a heads. Okay. Okay. Listen. It's me, Patrick Warburton. Shame on you. Anyway, no. Also, I forgot Patrick Warburton is the sheriff or police chief or whatever in Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, which is such a good Scooby-Doo show. Oh, I think I remember hearing that they're making another season, which, God, I hope so. Oh, I hope so. That might have been not true. Either way, I'm stalling for time. Twitch tonight, I'd have to go walk to a store that has, because I can't, because the allergy with apple juice. If you're willing to, if you want like a late night Twitch stream, you could. As long as you're willing to wait for like at least half an hour for me to walk to a gas station. I do have a train to rob in Red Dead Redemption. Fall off. It's just that guy right there. All right, that's enough of that. Fun fact: I wrote that song, and this one. It's a pirate song. I mean, they're road pirates, right? This is applicable to this.
Son, I don't feel safe with him getting out of the vehicle because we are protected inside our conveyance.
Tomorrow's better for Twitch. Okay. Yeah. So good. If I'm doing, it'll have to be like midday because I am busy. I'm doing the stream tomorrow, and then after that, I am busy. So if you are free, if you want me to drink a full one in the middle of the day, maybe. Something's happening up there. All right, that's enough of that pirate music. All right.
Road. The only thing I'm asking him to do is grab his
just write us a citation so we can go. We don't mind taking a ticket.
I mean, that's fine. Yeah. No, write him a citation. Absolutely. Well, unless they're not identifying, in which case, that's an arrest.
The thing, I can't just write a citation and let you go. That's what I'm trying to verify.
Because we didn't commit no crime.
Well, okay.
We reserve all of our rights under UCC 1-308.
All right.
We are.
All right. What's UCC 1-308? Was it? Performance acceptance under reservation of rights. A party that, with explicit reservations of rights, performs or promises performance or assents to performance in a manner demanded or offered by the other party does not thereby prejudice the rights reserved. Such words as without prejudice, under protest, or the like are sufficient. This would be, of course, the Uniform Commercial Code. They're not. This isn't a commercial act, therefore it does not apply, to my knowledge. However, You can say that. Well, I have no problem with you saying I'm only doing this under duress, because there are a lot of situations where that is really, really good. For example, if it's not something you actually wanted to do, but it's something that you feel like you have to do because otherwise it would be consequences you don't want to deal with, right? So, for example, if a police officer is doing the wrong thing and they're like, give me your ID right now, you can be like, I'll give it to you under duress, right? And then you give it to them. Because that way, if you take this to court and you say, this officer was demanding my ID and I felt like they would arrest me or they would hurt me if I didn't give it to them because they were saying it was required when in fact it wasn't, well, then the officer can't say, well, court, it was voluntary. They gave it to me. Therefore, I can ask for it and they can give it to me. It doesn't matter, right? That can be a good thing to do. So if they're saying that, fine. By all means, I have no problem with that. But, oh God, Welsh. Thank you, Welsh. Welsh says 24-hour Twitch marathon stream. I do want to do that with like a VR survival game. Once my VR headset, we're still trying to get Steam to be like, oh yeah, let's replace your Valve knuckles, whatever they are. The problem is the not the VIN number of it. You know what I'm talking about? Like there's the barcode, there's the serial number of it. It's really worn down, and so it's just like, can you guys replace it? So it's a thing. We're working on it. And God, do I hate the other ones that I have that are for the Vive. They're so garbage. It's the original Vive. I don't know about the new ones. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
We are private citizens, and you pulled us over for what?
If you would have pulled your head out of your dad's ass, you would have heard him tell you that he pulled you over for a bad registration. You know they can tow your car for that, right? You might want to quit playing the fuck around and find out game before you find out.
We're going 60 miles an hour. I got a dash cam. I have all the evidence I need.
Yeah, that's not what you pulled over. It wasn't for speed. It was because your car isn't registered or whatever it is. Triple Tackle, thank you so much. It's a hard day. I'm going to relax, close my eyes, and listen to the docile tones of a knockoff Joe Swanson talk about substance. Listen, they're a problem. Over there in the police force, we got a bunch of them running around. And I'm like, stop it. I got a wheelchair. I can't keep up with you. Just a bunch of hassles. All of them. Bruh. Becca, thank you, says, I'm still for the pole dancing stream. Yeah, there are people in my life who won't let me do that. So I would. I would.
I never said it was your speed, it's the registration.
What's wrong with the registration? I don't have to have
There isn't one.
I have a contract with the U.S. Corporation.
It's like,
well, it's a good thing it's U.S. government, not corporation, but. And you don't have to have that contract. It's not really a contract. Unless you want to consider an implied contract. Here's the deal. If you're going to use those public roads, if you're going to be the driver on those public roads, you do have to be licensed. Your vehicle does have to be registered. Otherwise, you don't have to do that at all. If you don't want to be a registered driver, you don't have to be. But if you're going to be a registered driver without being registered to be a driver with a vehicle that's registered, if that makes sense, there are going to be consequences. Shocking, I know, right? I don't have to have a contract with someone breaking into my house with a knife to shoot them in the face. Not how that works. They've made that decision. They could just say, I'm not going to break into this guy's house while carrying a weapon. And I could be like, then I'm not going to shoot you in the face. And that's our implied contract, if that's how you want to consider it. But you try to break into my house with a knife, I don't have to have you sign paperwork to shoot you in the face. Wow. I like that. It's a good example. Top of the head, folks. We're putting the wig back on. We got to contain those kind of thoughts before I get in trouble with the old tubes. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not a 14th Amendment citizen.
Is insurance or anything inside the
14th Amendment citizen. That is old school sovereign citizen. As much as I dislike everything he's saying, I like hearing that. That brings it back to like the origin. Not that he's right, but it's good to see the original stuff still floating around there. Mav knows what I'm talking about, right? I don't have to be in a contract with them to shoot in the face. They're breaking into my home with a knife. I'm just saying.
We have insurance, but that's beside the
Everything is in
point.
here. I'm privately insured.
It's really not.
Necessicated trust.
Okay, well, you grab it, come back.
You're what
That's
truck?
beside the
Everything is in
point.
here. I'm privately insured through my Sessicated trust.
Sessicated truck. I have no idea what that
Okay, well,
means.
you grab it, come back here.
It might mean something.
No,
I just don't know.
I am not stepping out, and I'm going to roll this window up a little bit here.
Just fill out whatever you need to fill out. We'll take a ticket.
Here's the thing. I just
Do
need
the
to
tick
verify.
voice.
What do
with
you need to
Kermit.
verify? Why do you need him to step outside of the car to verify it?
Because
Because he's being a dummy. Hold on, let me let Team Skeptic. Where'd Kermit go? All right. Team, you take care of this. I'm going to find Kermit.
told him to. That's why. Not only is it a safety hazard for the officer to be standing in the roadway, but it's also a lawful order.
Right here.
You can talk to him right here.
I can hear you right
Yeah,
here.
we're fine. Just talk to us right here and tell us whatever you need. You don't need to get out of the car.
Now it's a lawful order that I'm asking him to step out.
You unlawfully pulled me over.
Right.
No, that's not. God's chair's so squeaky.
Why? But why do you want him to step out?
Kermit, where are you?
You can. No, you have. No, we got a camera right here.
That's all it is.
No, you can talk to me right
I
here.
I don't feel
What do
comfortable with him. Just for our protection.
I'm trying to do this the best I can. It is very
My
simple.
guitar.
All right, go ahead and Jay,
Nah,
no, go ahead and do what he's saying because
No
we
way.
already got him.
Fair
on
Welsh,
civil
thank you.
violation.
There's no way I'm
No,
doing
go
that.
ahead. No, go ahead and step out because otherwise they're going to arrest you. So go ahead and get out. Take the book.
Wow.
Smart.
It's about time this father started giving his son some fatherly advice. Well,
This father raised an idiot, and they are really dumb. Perhaps they will learn from their mistakes, or someone will get the window smashed, and that will be really fun. Almost got it in the end there. We have fun here.
except for the book part, because that officer doesn't need to see your window-licking portfolio when you're putting on such a masterful display in person.
I'm going to step outside and video it just for your safety.
Inside the vehicle.
Huh?
Okay.
No, let me.
All right, we'll take your phone with you.
All
Take
right.
your phone, I'll get my phone.
This is
Just step outside, it's fine, because if they arrest you, it's look, just go ahead and follow their orders. Do what they want you to do.
all right.
That way you're not resisting anything.
Oh, that's my pen.
Sorry, bro.
God's Special Police, that the Georgia State Patrol there.
I'm gonna step right here. All right.
Now, why doesn't the officer pull them out a lot sooner? Probably because there's only one of him, and there are two sovereign citizens, and sovereign citizens can be very dangerous. So I think until backup arrives, this is not necessarily the worst choice. However, I would be calling in some backup for sure.
And he said you do have insurance. Can you just flip the notebook open and show me this?
Yes.
That's all I do.
Here's our insurance policy right there.
Just tell this out, please. No, just because of the road. That's all.
All right.
Yeah. They don't get over the blue lights. We don't want you to get run over. You know,
I appreciate
that's
that.
the only thing we're doing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to exercise my rights.
All right,
Before
they do
you
have
start
backup. That's good.
exercising your rights, you might want to learn what your rights actually are and
true.
what the difference between a right and a privilege is. Because
Same.
continuing to conflate the two is going to eventually get your ass arrested.
Yeah, I was trying to get him to read that affidavit of truth and facts. I don't know if that's something you want to look over, but I mean, this is very serious document. Yes, I mean, we have this signed under the penalty of perjury. We have it notarized. I mean, this is very powerful information that...
Notarized doesn't mean that it's lawful or legal or whatever. Notarized just means that someone who is licensed to do so confirmed that it was you who signed it. Or, well, okay, it's not all that notarizing means. It could be a lot of things. So that's probably all it means in this case. If you can get a lot of things notarized, it does not mean that it is true. A lot of times just means that you signed it. I can sign a lot of things. I can sign a dollar bill. It doesn't mean that I am the president of Texas. I don't know. What they say doesn't make sense. Why do I have to make sense? Ha!
I encouraged him to read beforehand, but he just didn't really want to do it.
It's not because he didn't want to read it. It's because you wrote it in the wrong color of crayon.
Well, yeah, and you got to understand.
Spicy.
You know, I mean, he don't want to divert his attention away from what's going on. You know, he's only one person. Y'all are two people.
That's
You don't know
good
him,
point.
Y'all don't know him.
I
He's just
understand
doing
that.
his job. You know?
Right.
But yeah, I understand. I've read
I'm really glad that I can see this guy's feet. That critical to this story.
something like that once before. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I
think the guy was from Pennsylvania when I was looking.
It's really powerful information. Basically, in short, we don't have any contracts with the U.S. Corporation, which puts us outside of your guys' jurisdiction.
No, okay, we had the jurisdiction conversation already. First of all, not U.S.Corporation. You're just being dumb. You are within their territorial jurisdiction. They have jurisdiction over you. You don't have to be an American citizen to have or to be under their jurisdiction. That's a dumb argument. You should feel bad for making it.
And yet every one of you sovereign citizens either pay your fines, go to court and fight your case, or go to jail for failure to appear. All three of which sound like you're under their jurisdiction to me.
And that's why we don't have a registration, because by registering your vehicle, you're putting your vehicle into a trust agreement.
No.
With the U.S. Corporation and its trust law. And what you're doing is you are now making the U.S. Corporation the beneficiary of that vehicle, and you're the trustee.
Drink every time he says U.S. Corporation. No, you might die.
Which means the state owns it, and you just have to take care.
No, that is not in any way how that works at all. And not even like I want to be like, here's the breakdown of this, but it's all nonsense. There's nothing to break down, just nonsense.
And pay all the bills and everything. Same with your house. When you own a house and you have a deed's a color.
Tone says, showing he has feet means he has the one and only unlicensed means of travel. Yeah, he's got feet. He can walk if he wants to. That's your travel. It doesn't mean you have to be allowed to drive. Shocking.
Title colored is and is in this and legalese language. Colored is fiat. You have the Federal Reserve note.
No, fiat's a car. A little joke there.
Promissory notes, colored money. It's fake money. So they give you these.
Oh, if he makes the only legitimate currency is gold and silver. Oh my God. So my plumber's a sovereign citizen, folks. He is nice, very nice guy, but also sovereign citizen. Maybe one of these days I'll have him on the old tubes, you know. But he tried to argue with me. Sometimes we like go out to dinner and just talk about these things because I'm fascinated. And he did bring up like, yeah, the only valid currency, like money's not real. Sure, it is real. Hey bud, no, I can go out and buy a chicken if I wanted to with money. It's real enough. Well, it's it's not constitutionally valid. I'm like, look, man, if it can buy me a thing, it's valid enough to me. He goes, listen, Constitution only allows currency in gold and silver. And I looked it up. No, the Constitution only allows states to print currency in gold or silver. The federal government does not have to print it in gold or silver. But if states want to print their own currency, it has to be in gold or silver or backed by gold or silver. I think it's in gold or silver. Like they want state coins, like the state produced, not the Federal Reserve printing state quarters. If the states themselves want to print their own money, the Constitution says that. Your dollar bills, your Federal Reserve dollar bills, that doesn't apply to those. That's the federal government, not the states as individuals. And I told him that. He went, oh, interesting, I'll have to look into that. Which is his way of saying, oh, you got me. And then he doesn't look into it, and then he's saying the same thing a month later. So I think we might be coming up to that. I really hope so.
Deeds, which is a fake contract with.
Also, good point. So last summer, the argument embarrasses me. Money is money because we assign value to it, which is also why gold and silver is worth anything. Yes, because we assign value to it. Oh, I mean, gold and silver have functional value as well, but yeah, we assign a value to it. Right? If we want to deal in granite, we could deal in granite. You know, they're like Native American tribes, I believe, that dealt in pebbles, in black rocks, or maybe that was an experiment. Was that Alaska? I don't know what I'm saying. I remember that being a thing. I could be wrong. Yeah, money is whatever we assign value to as money. Because, hey, if I want to trade 2 goats for a cow, I'd really like to be able to not carry goats around on some holsters. Every time I'm like, maybe I'll buy a cow today. Not really sure. You know? Or maybe I create some promissory notes saying, if you hand this back to me, my signature's on it, and I will, give me the cow now. You come back with a promissory note. I give you the goats. And then perhaps that promissory note gets shortened into a bill of some sort. It's almost like that's kind of what happened. There's a history to these things. God. Sorry, I just assumed that's the argument he's going to make, and I went down a rabbit hole, as I do.
Your house, and they tell you that you own it, when in
reality... Wait, Ocean Network, what do you say? Thank you also, by the way. It says, Becca likes to feel my powerful information. Oh, God.
That deed is making the state the beneficiary, and you're the trustee, so you have to pay all the bills, and you have to do all the expenses. But when it comes down to the court, you don't own it. So when the United States goes bankrupt, which they do, I think it's every 70 years...
I'd like to see evidence of that. As I checked, again, as I already said, the United States, I don't believe, has ever actually gone bankrupt.
Hold on. Did you just say that the US goes bankrupt every 7 years? Yeah, I'm gonna need a citation on that, and not one that requires ingestion of copious amounts of LSD to understand.
I think they just went bankrupt.
I think maybe what he's referring to is like Congress, the budgeting, and they're like, we don't have enough money in the budget. Like that. No, that's Congress proposing stuff that's outside the realm. That's a whole, oh God.
1999. But once they go bankrupt, they can literally take everyone's assets, their cars, their houses.
No. Dude, can they? Where? No.
All that. When the cabal comes down and takes over this place because we're in so
Big
much
Addicts,
debt.
thank you for your promissory note for a goat. It says, this super chat is actually a goat. Pick it up at your own convenience. Maybe I will.
I'm 60 years old and I've never seen that.
It's really powerful information, man. It's
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking about
Tyler Bell says, ain't the U.S. in $34 trillion in debt? Well, that depends on how you calculate the debt. Technically, yes, we owe a lot of debt to a lot of things, as does basically every country. But it's not something that can really be collected on without a whole slew of things. International finances are incredibly weirdly complicated. I've tried to look into this before, and it's like, oh God, this is well beyond my realm of knowledge. So technically, yes. But that doesn't mean the United States is bankrupt. Because what even is money? Right? Who enforces the bankruptcy? Kind of nobody. To be bankrupt, for the consequence of bankruptcy, you have to have an enforcement. And now you could do that through embargoes, or not embargoes. What's that thing we're doing in Russia? We're saying, we're not trading with you or whatever. You can do that. China could do that to us. We owe them a lot of money. But they also depend on us for very specific things. So they can't collect on that because they lose out on all of that. And so what we give them is a value that balances that debt, essentially. And so they won't collect on it. It's a whole complicated, weird thing. This international, because what even is money, right? Yeah. I don't know. What is $10 Canadian? We could find out. I have some thoughts. Also, yeah, spending limit, not debt. That's a good point. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Sanctions. Thank you. Not embargo. Sanctions. 98. Thank you. You guys are keeping me on my toes here.
Oh, you're talking about that. Oh, right. You're talking about when the government. Yeah, I know. Oh, I understand. That hasn't happened yet.
So this bankruptcy that you claim occurs every 7 years, that most recently occurred in 1999, which was 24 years ago, still hasn't occurred yet? Yeah. Did I miss something, or did I accidentally take that LSD?
But they took her gold away in 1933. And
that was what I was talking about. That's what I'm talking about. There's the sovereign citizen argument. This guy's a treasure trove of this stuff.
100 years now, they got that stuff going. That's how they created the promissory notes in the Federal Reserve. But yeah, that's just a little bit of the law.
Am I on top of it or what?
Where I'm coming from with this. The vehicle is placed in a trust, and the UCC and the common law both acknowledge
that's a slippery slope with me dealing in anything.
UCC Admiral Maritime Statutory Jurisdiction.
But by law, it's supposed to be registered to either you or whoever.
Right, the UCC code.
Right.
Yeah, the UCC code.
No, it's not. It's under state law. UCC code is federal law. We're talking about state law.
As 14th Amendment citizens only are the ones that have to register.
Not a thing,
bud.
Get
back in the car, sir.
We're not 14th
Close the door, get back in the car, sir.
He can order you back in the car under Pennsylvania versus Mims. The same thing that can require you to get out of the car. I don't know if they actually ruled on that in Pennsylvania versus Mims. That might have been a separate case that said Pennsylvania versus Mims also definitely did that as well. I just say Pennsylvania versus Mims for both. I think that may have been technically a separate ruling that sort of confirmed that Pennsylvania versus Mims did give them the authority after the fact. Maybe. Mr. Shigura, you incredibly late person. It's fine. It's a secret stream. Even Rennie doesn't know about this. She's probably asleep. Don't tell her. She'll be mad about it later.
I love how this officer shuts down his degenerate dad before he ever has a chance to interject. Because this officer is doing the best he can to try to get through to this kid so he doesn't continue making the same mistakes. And while I know this kid probably doesn't appreciate it, this officer is actually giving him the knowledge that his Father of the Year should have, but never did.
What you were saying was,
I'm looking up
we're
the
not
cost
a
of the
14th
cow.
Amendment citizen. So you have a contract as a police officer working with the United States Corporation. So you're considered a 14th Amendment citizen. We're not a 14th Amendment citizen, but private citizens. So,
Oh, cow
That's my
costing
that's my
$2,000, $5,000.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
how much does the goat cost?
But yeah, it's unique information.
I'm sorry, what is your
Yeah, it's unique because
Jaden.
it's not
Jaden?
legitimate.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Joe.
meet you.
I could say, aliens say I'll inherit the earth, so just start giving me your stuff now. That's a unique argument. That's unique information. Doesn't mean it's true. It is true, though. Start giving me your stuff. 75 and 200 for a goat? That's it? I'm gonna get a goat. That's less than a rescue at for a dog at the pound. Well, it depends on the pound. But the Humane Society, whatever. That is so cheap. I don't need a goat. But for $200, I'd put a goat in my backyard. I would do that. Mav, don't you dare. I'm not actually going to do it. Don't you dare. Because Mav's thinking about it. I know he is.
If it's turn you loose, because we're going to work a
How's it going, Aussie Manda?
I understand your expression.
Oh, thank you, miss my terrible Australian accent. But don't worry. Here it is for you, mate. Oh, so bad.
Your rights, whatever, the traveling stuff you may do, sovereign citizen stuff, that's you.
So last summer, it's because it's unique. It's unique information. That's why. That means it's valid somehow.
All right.
I'm not sovereign.
Okay, well, just understand.
Okay.
Laws do apply to you. Okay.
We are 10-4 vote.
I can stroke you a couple tickets just because I'm not doing it. Don't mean the next person down the road won't do it that you run into. Okay. I just.
Sir.
Just because I'm not doing it, don't mean. Laws do apply to you. Okay.
We are 10-4 vote.
I can stroke you a couple tickets just because I'm not doing it. Don't mean the next person down the road. Laws do apply to you. Okay.
We are 10-4 vote.
I can stroke you a couple tickets just.
He's saying he did or did not write a couple tickets.
But just understand, laws do apply to you. Okay.
We are 10-4 vote.
I can stroke you a couple tickets just because I'm not doing.
I can't tell if he's writing the tickets or not writing the tickets. Oh, what a nerd.
Doing it don't mean the next person down the road won't do it that you run into. Okay. I just have other stuff I have to do.
Anthony, I don't know. I don't want to be proven wrong that badly.
Well, it's fine if you were to write me a ticket. I would conditionally accept it, and then I would be sending affidavits and conditional acceptances to you, the court, and the clerk, and I would shut down your county.
Did you really
That's not going to happen, though.
just tell the officer that was gonna let you go with a warning and no citations that it was in his best interest because you would sue him and shut down the county? I'm gonna ask you a question that I already know the answer to. How dumb are you?
I'm just.
If someone did that to me, I'd be like, oh, we'll test that. Sure. That sounds like a good time. Let's find out.
Saying that's why you don't want to. I'll conditionally accept any citations.
Oh, I take that
but
challenge.
That's dangerous. That's why we have that affidavit.
I'm not getting a goat.
And all that information in there.
You can, but nobody will listen, right? Very true.
Is he really about to write one now just because I said that?
No, I doubt very seriously he's going to do that. He's just taking one of those. Checking one other thing.
I wasn't trying to be mean.
Because I'm not getting a goat.
I wasn't trying to be mean. I was letting him know.
He's not that kind of person. No,
Oh, okay.
My dog would
I was
freak
gonna
out.
say, shoot, if we gotta do
She
that.
doesn't know what to do about goats.
I
We
don't want
tried.
that to happen.
He was making sure.
Although Welsh
that there
News,
was
that
any-
is my idea. I'm terrible at remembering to mow my lawn. I would get a goat just to not deal with it. I would. But also I don't want a goat. What would I do with a goat? Other than annoy the neighbors. I'm not getting a goat. My dog would lose it. Maybe. Maybe my dog would like a goat. But then I had to feed it. It'd be pooping everywhere. It would eat my hammock. I don't think I could do it. Yeah, rent out goats for landscaping. Yeah, but then I have to pay for a goat temporarily. I suppose I can just pay for a goat permanently. Well, until it dies.
Insurance and all the paperwork was proper on the vehicle.
Look how cute they are. Have you seen a goat's eyeballs? Let me help you. No, I want this one. Oh. Ah! Horrifying! Becca Welsh News Network. Thanks so much. As I let Welsh News Network mow my lawn with his mouth. Question: like a goat?
Vehicle,
Right.
And if it wasn't, he would tow the vehicle.
And right here, well, you can't tow it because it's not registered. You can't tow a vehicle that's not registered.
You can't.
Okay, I feel like a pygmy goat would be more expensive, though.
But this is actually
Jake, listen to me. We can't. Okay. How old are you?
I'm 19 years old.
I've been doing this 35 years. Okay.
Yeah, up to 500.
35 years. I'm not gonna lie. To you. We can't.
It's even more
I
expensive.
think I'm gonna side with the 35-year veteran of the police force over the 19-year-old with the saliva-stained binder.
But what you were just telling me about a while ago about the brakes and everything and about the laws and stuff in your trust.
Hold on. 40 to 100 if it's not like from a breeder and like certified as a purebred, which I don't care about. Oh my God, this is like almost too good of a deal to pass up.
Money that you said is fake to buy the vehicle.
what do you mean?
You told me that all the money's fake, like when the house and the car and you don't register it and everything else. How come you went and bought the vehicle if what you're saying is like that?
James, no. Also, thank you.
What I did was I created a debt and I canceled the debt.
Also,
with
Welsh,
the promissory
no.
note.
Thank you. No.
Yeah, through my. Well, that's how it works.
No, sir. That's not how that works. Normal people do not get their car by taking out a loan and then writing that loan off with a promissory note. That's called fraud. And I guess your dad also never taught you to not admit to committing felonies in front of police officers.
How it works?
You have to.
Jason.
It's
So what about the IRS? Would the IRS have anything to say about that? About you creating an account and a debt and then canceling it?
Well, actually, the IRS.
Or is the vehicle paid off? Did you pay the vehicle off and then? Is that what you talk about canceling it?
No, it's
You confused,
it's
sir,
hard to
aren't you?
explain to someone that doesn't like actually. fully
It's hard to
understand
explain
it.
because you don't have an answer to it, kid. Because now you're confused and you're worried. That's what's happening. Oh, it was hard to explain. Yeah, it's hard to explain to someone who knows what they're talking about because they know what they're talking about. They know you're full of it. So it's hard to convince them, isn't it? Oh my God, I know. It's so crazy. You're wrong. I hope you improve. You have time. I hope you improve.
Except for a pretty bright individual. I'm listening. I've got a question you haven't answered yet. I'm just curious.
Jonathan, I feel like a goat can support me. Oh, man. There's a lot going on there.
The question
a
is...
cow, though. But $2,000 to $5,000. And the manure. Ooh.
The IRS say about you creating a debt and then canceling the debt. Did you pay the vehicle off that way? Or did you just buy the vehicle and say, hey, I'm not paying for this vehicle anymore and just not pay for it?
Oh, you can't have a goat in your backyard unless you have at least 1 acre? Well, I can't have a goat, folks.
No, I wouldn't do that.
No, that's exactly what you said you did.
What I did was I created a debt and I canceled the debt with a promissory note.
Created a debt. Okay.
No, I would.
I'm curious about how you
Yeah,
said
you would
that.
want to do that.
No. Well, you're telling me that bills and everything are fraudulent, and the government is here to screw us and everything. And if I buy a house, I'm paying it with fake money, and the government's trying to take everything that I own. And the government goes bankrupt every 7 years, is what you said.
70. So when the United States goes bankrupt, which they do, I think it's every 70 years.
Every 70 years. Okay.
Yeah, I believe it's. I don't quote me on that, but I believe it's every 70.
Okay, every 70 years.
I believe so.
You said 7 years a while ago.
No, the United States is 70.
I told you I was 60 years old and I haven't seen anything like that. So my question still stands is, when you created
I wouldn't mind an alpaca. Ooh, I bet they're expensive though. I'm not saying. I mean, for like Seattle, you can only have pygmy goats. I don't know about like outside of the city though. But we're looking this up now. Why am I looking this up? I'm not getting a goat. Cost of an alpaca. Cost of... $250 to $50,000. I'd pay $250 for an alpaca. Alpaca price in the U.S. range from $100 to $1 million. Oh God. I guess like whether or not you're going to be able to sell their fur, kind of a situation. I don't know. All right.
And you cancel that debt. What does the IRS say about it?
The slime? I'll spit back. It's fine.
Well, they wouldn't say anything because when you buy a vehicle, that's creating a debt.
Correct.
And then canceling a debt is paying off the vehicle.
So the vehicle's paid off.
Right, I don't owe anything on this vehicle.
So you don't owe anything on this vehicle. You paid it off free and clear. You didn't go and put a down payment on the vehicle for $10,000 and drive off saying, I'm not paying you anymore.
No, I didn't do that.
Okay. Just curious. Just asking.
Right.
Okay.
Well, you're 19.
I see that, Tones. Tones is sending me goat memes.
So that means that loan is probably...
Welsh, thank you. Welsh says, we do have your address. We'll send you a free goat. You have to have it registered to the state, though, if you're transporting across state lines. Ha ha ha. How do you plan on doing that? You don't even speak English in Wales. You speak Wales. Good luck writing that on a government form. Ha! I win. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. That's all right.
Probably pretty recent, which means your dipshittery probably hasn't caught up to you yet, but it will.
Pet Link sounds like a problem.
Get you out of here, okay?
Alrighty.
Citation, solicited for 40 dash.
Alpaca was so nice.
2A41, okay? It's for improper tag display just because the registration is not affixed to the rear of the vehicle. Alright?
Got him.
20th. This is how you get in touch with the courts. Alright, that's the phone number you can call.
Alright, there's a piece of paper that I need you to sign to submit as evidence to the court.
Okay?
Will you need the...
Zero Doc, Goaty, going Doc. We'll get him next time, boys. That Call of Duty mission, here's a goat. It's airborne. Screaming eagles and screaming goats. Oh, come on. Solid. I'm on fire today.
Submit it for evidence to the court, and if you don't, that's...
You said you're going to subpoena and do all your stuff. That's fine. The court can get in touch.
Right, well, the affidavit of truth and facts states that you have
It's
to.
not a mission of guilt. It's stating you understand the ticket right here and you know what to do with it, okay?
Alrighty.
Oh, no, man. Oh, no. He'll eat my car.
This is your copy here.
Thank you, Judy.
Sign. One's just a court copy, one's a violating
PJs.
copy.
Alrighty.
Have your driver's license.
I appreciate that. Yep.
And you got your notebook.
Yep.
Everything in it. I put the other paperwork back inside, okay?
Alrighty.
Everything you need, okay?
Alrighty, I conditionally accept this.
When you get pulled over again, not
Yes.
if, but when you get pulled over again for the same thing, still in that citation. Okay?
We're going to have you here, 98.
You get pulled over again because of that tag.
Go Poppins Riser to Seattle. Hey,
I had an
I like it.
officer follow me all the way across Savannah, and they never pulled me over.
Okay, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about when you get pulled over again.
Right.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
And so goes the story of our 19-year-old third grader who successfully talked himself out of a harmless warning and face first into a traffic citation. You gotta love an idiot who hates the government but loves to give them their money for free. All right, guys, that's where we're gonna end the video.
Solid
today.
skeptic. I'll sustain that. I love it. It's beautiful. He got the ticket in the end. These people, man, I tell you. We got some windows ripped out. We got some fun Australian shenanigans. We talked about goats a lot. Also, Welsh, thank you. Operation Airdrop the Goat. I'm not getting a goat. I'll talk it over to some people. But I'm not getting a goat. It's not happening. I'm not getting a goat for a mascot. That'd be ridiculous. Tempting. Wait to go. I bet those ones are expensive though, right? It's a whole thing. All right, what do we got before I get out of here, folks? my random Thursday late night stream, early morning for Across the Pond, sort of a thing. What else do we got? Yeah, y'all better not. Y'all better not. I tell y'all better not get me a goat. I tell you what. Why I oughta. Diet Blue. Plush coats to me. My P.O. box in the description. If you need to send me goats or kangaroos. Y'all. For 5 p.m. in Sydney. Good God. You guys are way ahead. C-130 above. Ooh, Jessa. Ooh. I faster than Artie, I'll have you know. Well, heck. We might as well, right? Oh. Good enough. Can we just... I'm very proud of this. I wrote this. Michelle, your neighbor had a fainting goat? Oh, so good. Because I'm better than him, Jessa. Good to have you here, Tones. Solid. I love it. Interesting. Becca, thank you so much. You can type the tie the goat to the stripper pole. You all love that, wouldn't you? Yeah, but I bet you would. I bet you would. All right. Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's a good place to end it. Hey, y'all been wonderful. It's entered on the record now. Can't be disputed. Well, can't. In an appeal. But, yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow during the normal stream. I think we're going to talk about some Jeremy DeWitt stuff. And maybe find some exciting stuff to go over. You know, I don't really know. We'll make it sassy. We'll make it fun. We'll make it exciting. Even if the Jeremy DeWitt stuff isn't, I will be there, and I will try to be over the top as usual, just to make things fun. So, I knew what you meant, Becca. I corrected you for you. Don't worry about it. So, I guess it's bedtime for a lot of you. So, who wants a bedtime story? Once upon a time, get out of here. It's time to go. You have to stay here. Or no, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. That's how it works. Well, I mean, DeWitt, people kept asking because he got like a whole bunch of new felony charges that are kind of funny. Not for him, just like I don't necessarily want to make it all about him, but I think there are some things we should talk about because it's oh boy, he's in a lot of trouble potentially. And there, you know, some people want it, so I guess I can listen to my fans. So. But it's fine. Anyway, it's good to have you here, Anthony. Great, you had good information, great information, always good. So, 200 likes, I'll get a goat. 1,000 likes, and I'll consider getting a goat. 1,000 likes, and I will look into people selling goats in my area. That's it. I'm in a tank, and you're not. You're not my dad.
Arthur, get out of the tank.
You're not my daddy.
Get out of the fucking tank. I am your dad.
You're not my dad.
I am your dad. Get out of the fucking
I'm in a tank
Hey,
and you're not.
I will call
I'm
Mr.
literally
Middleton.
in
Get
a
out of the fucking tank.
I'm literally in the tank. You're
Get
not.
out of the
You're not my dad.
Literally get out of the tank.
Tell Major Middleton. I don't give a fuck.
Get out of the
It makes me so happy. Oh. Literally get out of the tank. I'm in the tank and you're not. You're not my real dad. I don't know. If Mav wants that midday Twitch stream, we could try. We could try. That's Mav. Mav bought the Four Loko. Dastardly bastard. I am your tag out of the tank. I want to make that into a shirt. I probably won't. Juggernaut. Yes. Oh, you jerk. How dare you? Putting up place where I can buy a goat. Okay, I'll look. $100 for a purebred pygmy. Oh, it's in Spokane Valley. That's like 5 hours away. Oh, God, I hate Spokane's nice. I hate the drive. God, it's so far. It's not a bad deal though. 2 hours I consider it, but Spokane. God. I don't know what my dog would do. Old goat's home and rescue. I don't have to like interact with it. Ugh. Interacting with things. God, no. Not after the pandemic. No. All right. But hey, with that, folks. Hey, you guys are wonderful. Love it. Hey, we'll talk about this some more tomorrow. Maybe during the crazy Twitch stream. And well, I hope to see you there. So, sorry, I'm still reading the chat. Until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, be good. Stay safe.